And good afternoon. We welcome you in. It's the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. Yeah, let's go. We made it. We made it, everybody. Yay. We're here. It's week 1 of college football. Our long national nightmare is over. Although, again, the break wasn't terrible this go round. Off season wasn't bad this year. It was Olympics and WNBA. Caitlin Clark and the Fire got another, or the Fever, got another big win last night. Yeah, man, it's the off season hasn't been terrible.
Here he is, having the time of his life.
Well, we are about to have the time of our lives, that's for sure. Rogers, the pimple is pimpling still. It's there's a big old red blemish up on the top of my head, up on my forehead. Which, I mean, look, if I'm gonna get one, I had a pimple. I had like a little bad knee or whatever. Like, if I'm gonna get all that stuff, I might as well get it now, right? Get it out of the way before we take off and get into actual football season and volleyball season, which is...
I don't care who you are, that's funny right there.
It's actual football and volleyball season starting next week. So we're getting all that out of the way. Got to make sure to get that done.
All right.
Hambone is Mr. Sound Effects today. We're dropping everything on there. Going through the whole litany of them. But yeah, we're here. We made it, everybody. We have made it to week 1 of college football. We have so many sound effects. We have a full slate of games today. A lot of FBS versus FCS type games, which, look, that doesn't hurt my feelings. Obviously, I'm an FCS guy, but yeah, we got a laundry list of games going today. And couldn't be more excited about that. We got the Pearl Upset Special up and rolling, and super excited about that as well. That we've already got a lot of entries that are coming in, and we need more. Yeah, we want to keep it going, man. So keep sending in your entries for the Pearl Upset Special. We'll talk more about that as we progress. We got all of our live streaming back up and rolling again, which is awesome. We got Twitter/X back, which is great. So we are rock and rolling there. Ambo is killing me with the sound effects today. Yeah, so we got everything going, man. We're up and at full strength, just in time for the start of football season. So I'm fired up, man. I can't wait. I'm obviously gonna have Northwestern State and Tulsa. Will be on the screen today. Gonna have that going, and we're gonna get after it, man. We're gonna have lots to watch today. Very excited about it. Also, I am selling my television, so I found one on a really good sale. A little bigger one that's for sale for a really good deal. And so I am selling my old TV, my 75. I say my old TV, it's 2 years old. But I am selling it. So if anybody's looking for a TV, shoot me a note over on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. I'm giving it away. I'm not giving it away. I'm selling it for a reasonable price. And I'll even throw in an old Apple TV. Not an actual TV, just a little box that's called an Apple TV, which is weird because it's not actually a television set. It should be called like the Apple receiver, because that's what it is. But anyway, so if anyone's interested, just text me over on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, and we can talk about the price and whatnot. But it's going to be very reasonable. I'm not looking to make a profit off of this. I'm just looking to help defray and defer some of the costs for the new TV that I've gotten. But it won't be in until next week. So anyway, we got that happening. And, man, just super excited, fired up for college football. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Glad you're with us, and glad you can be part of the Pearl Upset Special. And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, we mentioned it yesterday. The Pearl had a death in the family. They are going to be closed tomorrow to take care of all of those arrangements and be there for each other. So obviously we send our best Robert and his whole crew at the Pearl. They've been great to us. Robert's just spectacular. Those are great people over there operating at the Pearl. So we send our sincerest condolences, our thoughts and prayers, all the good vibes, whatever you believe in, man. We're sending it all the way of Robert and his crew as they deal with some really horrible circumstances. So they will be closed tomorrow, and just to let everyone know, if you're planning to go and hit the Pearl tomorrow, they will be closed, and rightfully so. Hopefully there'll be a lot of healing going on, and folks kind of get back to getting back to feeling a little bit better, because it's tough, man. It's very, very tough what they're going through. So again, if you have a spare prayer or thought or vibe or whatever, send it the way of the folks at the Pearl. They could certainly use it. So that's going on. But the Pearl Upset Special is happening, and we are taking your picks for that. It's look, we've already gotten a bunch of folks who are sending in picks, and here's the funny thing, right? Like I go through, especially the summer. You go through, we're in a new time slot. It's a little different. Some people aren't able to listen from 1 to 3 that could listen from 3 to 5. Some people can listen from 1 to 3 that couldn't listen from 3 to 5, right? So, but it's tough because, I never know how many people are listening or paying attention. You could tell me there's 10 people that are listening to this show, or, Buzz Williams, 7. You could tell me that there's 10 people, or you could tell me that there's 10,000 people listening. I legitimately don't know. And so, things like the Pearl Upset Special kind of remind me that there are people, even if they're not necessarily actively listening, they are paying attention, because everyone knows to start sending picks in. And so people we've already gotten 30 plus picks, and we this is Thursday. Right, we haven't even gotten to Friday yet, when we normally would be taking them. So keep sending them in. Obviously, if you want to get any for the games today, then you need to get those in before about 6 o'clock. I think that's when the first game goes off. So make sure you get your picks in if you're picking any of the games today. Obviously, if you're picking one of the Friday games or the Saturday games, then you can wait until, again, right before kickoff. I'd prefer you get your pick in before kickoff. I might take it a couple of minutes into a game if there's nothing going on, but try to get your picks in before game time if you would. That would help us out a great deal. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, it's the Pearl Upset Special, an opportunity for you to win a $50 gift certificate to the Pearl. How do you do that? All you have to do is go ahead and send us a text on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line at 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. You just give us a team that you believe, a huge underdog or a big underdog that you believe will win outright. You give us the name of that team. If they win outright and it's the biggest line, meaning they're the biggest underdog that won outright, then you will win a $50 gift certificate to the Pearl. If multiple
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
Yeah, thank you. If multiple people tie, then we will do a tiebreaker. We usually do, pick a number, or I'll have Rogers pick a number. Obviously, much easier now, much less opportunity for collusion now, thanks to Rogers not being in the same location I am. So yeah, we got that happening. The Pearl Upset Special. Send in whatever team you think is the biggest underdog that will win. And remember, they need to win outright. They have to win the game, not just cover the spread. Send that into the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line at 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426, and you'll have an opportunity to win a $50 gift certificate to the Pearl. Can't argue with that, man. That's it's about as good as it gets. So we got that happening, and man, just super excited, really, really excited to have college football back. We're going to go through the games that are happening today. We'll save the Saturday previews for tomorrow. Don't forget also tomorrow we've got Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers. That's right, the return of Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers. Let's see where we ended last season. I have actually not looked at Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers since we finished it off back in January. Let's see. I finished 50. Let's see. Now I've got to see if that I got to double check that all this adds up. But it appears I finished 61, 61, and 4. I finished exactly 500. Is near about what I can tell. Meanwhile, Moody had a nice run as he went 70, 53, and 3. So, and I've actually got one game there that I need to double check because he picked the under on the national championship game, and I didn't even mark if he won it or not. So I went exactly 500, 61, 61, and 4. And actually, I think I went one game under 500 because I had Washington plus 4.5 against Michigan, and Michigan took care of business in the national championship game. So, yeah, looks like I might have finished a game under 500, unfortunately for me. So, yeah, we got that happening, and that'll be fun. Definitely looking forward to college football season being back and us getting back in the saddle. Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers will be back tomorrow. We'll do that around 2:20, and we will 2:20, 2:25, something like that. And we'll also have the Pearl Upset Special happening at the same time. So all of that going on. Very excited for that, man. It's great to be back. Great to have college football back in the offing again. So let's see. Moody did get he missed he said under 56.5, so he hit that. So Moody would finished up 71, 53, and 3. I had Washington plus 4.5, and they did not win that. So I finished up 61, 62, and 4. So between the both of us, we finished well. Moody was, 71, 53. So he was 18 games over 500. I was one game under 500. So if you went with us for the whole season, you won money last year combined. If you went with me, you lost just a little bit. You lost by one game. If you went with Moody, you won big. So I'm not saying don't roll with Tyler Moody, but maybe you want to roll with Tyler Moody. So there you go. We got that done, and we'll have that back and rocking and rolling for you starting tomorrow. Tomorrow's show, we will begin the Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers. We'll talk a lot about the games that are going on today. Again, a full slate of action, including the Northwestern State Demons. And again, people keep asking me, and I keep telling them I have no idea what to expect from Northwestern. I don't know. Blaine McCorkle's got a good history of being able to turn programs around. This is obviously year one. You can't expect miracles in year one, but with the transfer portal, hey, maybe they can get it done. I think if obviously you win one game, it's better than you have been. You win multiple games, then I think you can really start to say, hey, this is good stuff. But most importantly, and by the way, if you didn't get a chance to read Roy Lang's piece in the Shreveport-Bossier Advocate, I highly recommend it. He did a really nice piece on just sort of trying to find normalcy again in the Northwestern State program. So if you haven't read the piece, go find it on the Shreveport-Bossier Advocate. Roy's a hell of a writer, and no surprise that he knocked it out of the park. So we got that happening. We'll talk all about the games that are going on a Thursday, and super excited to have those happening. Keep sending in your picks for the Pearl Upset Special. Chance to win a $50 gift certificate to the Pearl. We got that coming up for you. Other than that, we are just rocking and rolling. We got WNBA news. Last night, the Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever got another win. They are red hot coming out of the Olympic break. They continue to play really well. I believe they're 3 or 4-1 since the Olympic break, and putting themselves firmly in the playoff discussion. They actually have more wins versus teams over 500 than the Aces, who are the best team in the league, along with the Liberty. So, we've got a little WNBA talk if you want to, but man, it's college football, and we are pumped. So excited to have it back. Gonna have it on the quad box going on tonight with a bunch of games happening. And again, we'll kind of go through some of the games that seem to be a part of what's going on here. And we'll roll through some of those as we go along. All right, how do you get in touch with the show? Well, there's 2 ways. Well, there's really 5 ways to get in touch with the show, if you think about it. But I'll tell you the most popular ones are the phone line and the text line. The Pearl Shreveport hotline, the phone line, is 318-725-5945. It's a Rally 45, 725-5945.
Hello.
Sorry, Coach O, I messed that one up, man. I'm glad you hit your mark, because man, I false started on that one, Coach.
We're coming.
Yeah, that was me.
We're coming. And we ain't backing down.
I maybe need to back down a little bit, Coach. That was me. I messed that one up. But I appreciate it. Look, Coach O's a pro, right? He rolled with it. Yeah, he rolled with it. He knew I would get back on track after I screwed it up, and he was right there to hit his mark. It's what a professional does. We're also available on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426, also known as the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. So find us there. We are available on 3 different streaming platforms. If you want to watch, time to change. If you want to watch and listen to the show, we are available on Facebook and YouTube. Both of those are the Patrick Netherton Show. So if you want to find it, go to Facebook, go to YouTube, search for the Patrick Netherton Show. Like, follow, subscribe, do all of those things on those particular places. If you want the direct link, it's facebook.com/Netherton Show. It's youtube.com/@Netherton Show. So both are Netherton Show. Just remember, on YouTube, you have to put the little @ symbol before the name. So facebook.com/Netherton Show, youtube.com/@Netherton Show. And then on Twitter, we do the personal account. That's where we stream on. And that one is @PT Netherton, @PT Netherton. Don't forget also, Rogers has a Twitter account if you want to interact with him. Don't know how much he'll interact back, but you can certainly send him notes and tell him what a lovely human he is. Just go to @HeyBoyRogers, @HeyBoyRogers. So those are your 3 streaming services. You can watch and listen to the show. Also, much like the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, you can write to us on those various platforms. So if you're watching on Facebook and you send us, you chat with us on the Facebook stream, I can read it. You chat with us on the YouTube stream, I can read it. Do the same on Twitter, and we can read it as well. So all of those available for you to respond. We had some really great interaction the last couple of days over on Facebook and on YouTube. So please feel free to hit us up on any of those platforms. We also stream audio over on the app, the 1130 The Tiger app. All you have to do is go to Google Play if you're an Android user, or the iTunes App Store if you're an Apple user, and search for 1130 The Tigers. The number 1130, then the Tiger, and you will download the app. It is fantastic quality, good stories. They've got all kind of good stuff in there. Can't recommend that you download the app enough, especially if you're someone like me, who, you get up in the morning, you're kind of taking your pills and brushing your teeth and, all that stuff that you do, kind of get your morning routine. I take the iPad out, I put the app on, and I listen to Fletch and Hambone and Hester in the morning via the app. It's really, really high quality. All right. Those are all the ways you get in touch with us. The man pushing all of the sound effects today is Rogers Hampton Jr.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkinland.
Hey, boy!
Hey, boy.
Hi, man.
Hello.
What's up, dude?
Friday Eve.
You got
Thank
the
goodness.
trigger finger today, my friend. You are hitting all the
I'm
sound
all
effects.
alone, almost in the building, so I'm a
Oh,
happy
really?
camper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for some reason, the whole building is taking tomorrow off as well. There
Okay.
is nobody here. There's a couple on this end, a couple on that end. They're taking a 4-day weekend.
A couple of programming notes. Speaking of 4-day weekends, Ben and JJ are taking off tomorrow as well. We are all off on Monday. Just to let everyone know, we are all off on Monday on Labor Day. And
We
Ben
almost
and
had tomorrow off as well. Fletcher said if he had known that the rest of the building was doing it,
Yeah.
but he had already lined up his high school coaches for Friday, and I knew
yeah.
you had your Patrick's Picks and Moody's Money Makers, and I was
Right,
like, man,
right.
let's just do Friday and preview the weekend.
Yeah.
I said,
well, and
because-
we'll have games tonight to discuss.
Absolutely,
tomorrow.
especially with Northwestern playing, Arkansas playing. So both of y'all have teams, in the hunt tonight. So
Yeah.
I was like, look, dude, let's don't worry about that. The log
Yeah,
is
let's-
already fixed. You've already booked the high school coaches. We've started that. The jamborees are tomorrow night. I said, let's don't change anything. It's okay. You're giving us Monday off. We're good.
So
we will be here tomorrow.
Week 1 of high school is next week.
Yes, this
Okay.
weekend is the
It's
jamborees.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. It's hard for me to keep up sometimes.
So Fletcher and Lord Hester, and this year, except for a couple of Friday nights, it will be Ruben running the board.
Okay.
That begins next Friday night, the very first Friday football fever.
So Puff finally got out of it, huh? Took him how many years to finally
he
of
used
saying
the
he
old-
wasn't going to do it, and now he's finally gotten out of it.
Well, he went with the old, we finally got all the new equipment in, and he hasn't been trained
And he
how
doesn't
to run
know
it.
how to do it. Yeah.
And they really do want to limit certain people, not just him, but they really don't want the corporate business end of it running boards
Right.
anymore. So he's not even logged into a computer to hop on to run it,
There you
much
go.
less have been trained on it. So between Ruben and me, Ruben and I will be alternating Fridays, or if Ruben can't be here, I've agreed to fill in, and we'll just kind of go from there.
We'll just have to get you a bed, Rogers. Got to get.
I'm telling you,
you-
I'm trying to get us an office up here, but
Yeah,
it's
I need the
dragging.
office. Put a little, look at Rogers. When I was the SID at Centenary, brother, there were some days that I just laid down on the floor in my office and slept.
I understand completely.
And look, when I was doing the morning show at the competing network, and we had the morning show with Moody and Camity, and then it was Moody and Julie, and we did the morning show on the music station. There were days where we did live. We were live from like 6 to 8:30, and then we would voice track or record from then on. And so after we do our voice tracking, and it was 9 o'clock, something like that, I would lay down in that studio. I'd get behind our desk where no one could see us in the little porthole in the door. Because unlike the studios that you're in now, or that our studio's in, there were no windows at all. There was one little porthole in the door, and that's all. There are no windows. Now there was a window that back to a different studio, but no one was in there, so you couldn't see that. Like no one in the hall could come in and see you unless they looked through the window in the door, and it looked like a prison door, like it was one of those little tiny slit window kind of things. So I would lay down on the floor on the other side of the studio, back behind the desk. And so if anyone looked in, it would just look like an empty studio. They wouldn't know, what was going on. And in reality, I was sleeping down on the down under the desk. I did that in my office at Centenary, especially when my office was not in the main administration portion of the building. I'd lock the door to the office. There were no windows. I'd lock the door to the office. I'd lay down on the floor, and I'd take a nap during lunch sometimes, if I was feeling it. So yeah, you got to catch it where you can, man. All right, week 1 of college football is finally here. Would love to hear some thoughts from you. Any Thursday games that are really intriguing you? Any Friday games that are really intriguing you? Obviously, tomorrow we will talk about LSU and USC. And tomorrow we'll have talk about Arkansas and Northwestern State, both getting after it. ULM also playing tonight as well against Jackson State. So we'll have a lot of games to discuss coming up in tomorrow's show. So definitely looking forward to that. But would love to hear from you. Tell us, what are you excited for coming up this weekend? And are there any games tonight that are intriguing you? And of course, we're taking your picks for the Pearl Upset Special. Send them to us on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, 657-0426. Patrick Netherton Show off and running on a Thursday, Friday Eve. Nearly week one, just a couple hours away. Full slate of college football getting ready to go. We'll be back right after this.
Just the fear like to guide us. So we mixed about his bands and should we crunch his sweet hands.
Hey Frank, looks like business is booming. What are all those tabs you have open on your computer?
Oh, hey. Well, this one is for my SEO company. This one is for my website company. This one is for my CRM. This is for invoicing and estimates. This one does email. And this one does billing.
Geez, that sounds tricky to manage.
It's clunky, but I need all this to run my business. Wait, you run your own business and you're even busier than I am. Don't you have all this stuff too?
I do, but I get it all on one screen with the Town Square Business Management Platform.
What's that?
The Town Square Business Management Platform is an all-in-one tool that helps me grow and run my business. It combines website, billing, and scheduling into one program.
That sounds simpler than juggling all the tools I have now, but you still need someone else to help you find new business, right?
Nope. They have powerful digital advertising built into the platform as well, which helps me keep my calendar full. You can get a demo of the product for free. Check out their website. See if it makes sense for your business.
Go to townsquarelocal.com for a free demo of the Town Square Business Management Platform. Visit townsquarelocal.com. That's townsquarelocal.com.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Who doesn't love getting something for free? Labor Day deals have arrived at the Home Depot, and right now you can get a free Milwaukee 18-volt extended capacity battery, $159 value, when you buy a select tool. Get longer runtime and more battery life so you can power all your fall projects. Shop Labor Day deals and get a free battery when you buy a select tool at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limit 1 per transactions. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in store and online.
Freedom on the open road. Sharp reflexes and smart decision making is all that separates your body from the road. Even just one drink can affect your ability to ride. Alcohol limits your reaction time and decreases inhibitions, which is the perfect recipe for a DUI. So why would you ever risk riding while impaired? Ride sober or get pulled over. If you hit the bottle, don't roll the throttle. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. An an unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special Pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Get down to business. Tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too.
Anything you want.
The Greene Team for the best plumbing, heating, air. Get it all.
You can have anything you want.
One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Christus St. Michael Health System proudly presents the 25th Annual Texarkana Senior Expo, Friday, September 13th, 9 a.m. to noon at the Texarkana, Texas Convention Center. The Senior Expo features products, services, and agencies that benefit anyone 50 and older. Attendees can talk to over 100 professionals, get free health screenings, great information, and more. And admission is free. The 25th Annual Texarkana Senior Expo, presented by Christus St. Michael Health, has both sponsor and vendor room available. Need more info? TexarkanaSeniorExpo.com.
A good time is in the air. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
You know the day destroys the night. Night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side, yeah. We chased our pleasures here, dug our treasures there. But can you still recall the time we cried? Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side.
Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Taking your picks for the Pearl Upset Special. $50 to the Pearl for the person every week who picks the biggest underdog that wins outright. That's all you got to do. How you make it happen. That gets you hooked up with a $50 gift certificate to the Pearl. And what more could you want? The Pearl on 70th and Fern Avenue, the best in, really, I mean, a lot of cuisines. That's the thing that's crazy is you think, okay, well, they're an oyster bar, right? They're an oyster place. Well, yes, they do oysters. They're very good. Whether you want them raw or char-grilled or Rockefeller, got a bunch of them, right? Really good at oysters. Okay, so they're an oyster restaurant. Well, yes, and they also have a 47-foot bar with all the beer you want, all the wine, great wine list, mixed cocktails, mixed drinks, all that. Got all that available to you. Okay, so they're an oyster bar and a regular bar. Yes, and they're also a Cajun place with incredible seafood and crawfish, in crawfish tails in dishes all over the place, Creole sauces, catfish, all kind of different redfish, all kind of different fish available to you. Okay, so they're kind of a seafood joint that has a bar. Yes, and they also do tremendous American food. Steaks, burgers, fabulous, fantastic. Okay, so they're a seafood joint that does oysters and has great seafood, and a bar that also has some good American food. Yeah, they also have pretty incredible appetizers and desserts, too. So basically, they just do it all at the Pearl. 70th and Fern Avenue. Go find them there. Obviously, when you go there and you see the folks, you run into everyone, please tell them you heard about it right here on the Patrick Netherton Show, Robert and crew. And obviously, if you go in today, so have a kind heart for them. They're going through some stuff, so show a kind heart today if you go into the Pearl. Don't forget they are closed tomorrow, but we'll be back open on Saturday. And by the way, if you're looking for a place maybe to go, enjoy some of the early college football, go sit at the bar at the Pearl, have a couple of drinks, maybe get you some appetizers or a lunch, and enjoy college football. They got a couple of TVs up there at the bar. You can sit and enjoy. So can't go wrong with anything you get at the Pearl. 70th and Fern Avenue, the Pearl Shreveport, proud sponsor, I hope, of the Patrick Netherton Show. Let's go to the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. Double J said, sorry, I was buying the nap story until you got to the part where you said you'd sleep through lunch. That's tough to swallow, LOL. Always look forward to your road trip restaurant experience recaps. Win or lose, the Demons seem to eat better than most schools. Fork 'em. Well, that's true, Double J. The part about us eating better than most schools, when I would sleep through lunch is when I wasn't feeling well. Like if I had had a bad night or just wasn't feeling well, I would lay down in the office, and that was at Centenary, and I'd sleep through lunch. Now, when I slept at the radio station, it was usually 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. And that was just tough because I was getting up at 5 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning to go into work every day. And so that just jacks your sleep schedule completely up. I never, unlike Rogers, I did it for over a year, and I never got used to waking up that early. Like, it never got better or easier for me. So I'd occasionally, we'd do our live show, and then we get our voice tracking done around 9. And I would lay down and just catch, 30, 45 minutes. Nothing crazy. I had to be there until 10 because our show was on until 10. So I would just kind of chill until 10 o'clock, make sure, no emergencies happened. And then, I'd be done and bebop on out of there. But yeah, the sleeping through lunch only happened at Centenary, and it only happened if I wasn't feeling well. That was not a regular occurrence. Although sometimes, especially during the summer when you don't really have a lot going on, there might be times I'd come back from lunch, kind of catch that post-lunch little dip right there, right, and kind of just go, all right, I might need to catch a few Z's, and I'd kick my assistant out of the office, and then I would lay down and lock the door, and again, I'm not talking about sleeping for hours at a time. We're talking about catching 30, 45 minutes here and there. There was no sleeping overnight at the office. That was definitely not something that was being done. All right, Patrick Netherton Show, 11:30, the Tiger, 103.3 FM. One large note. How about Steph Curry and the Warriors? Curry was getting ready to become a free agent. He had 2 years remaining on his 4-year, $215 million contract. He was eligible to sign only a 1-year extension this offseason because he's over 38, and it prevents teams from offering contracts of 4 years or more to players who are or will be 38 years old during that deal. Curry's 36, so it would have put him past the 38-point threshold. So they came up with a 1-year deal, and Steph Curry will make $62.6 million on that 1-year extension to his deal. So he's making roughly $50 million, $51 million a year on his current contract, and will be adding to that, and will be making $62 million in the final year of his deal. Steph Curry has said, I've always wanted to be a Warrior for life. At this stage in my career, I feel like that's possible. Now, he also said he'd like to remain with a competitive team, and obviously they've retooled the roster a little bit. The Splash Brothers are no longer, they're not a thing anymore, and so Klay Thompson's now a member of the Mavs. They brought in some young guys, but it's just a matter of what are you going to find? What are you going to be able to do? So that's what they're looking at. And obviously, Curry was insane in the Olympics. Just down the stretch of that gold medal game, hit one of the craziest shots you'll ever see. I think he hit 3 or 4 threes within the span of like a minute and a half, and he was really the reason that the U.S. team was able to hold on to win the gold medal. So really crazy stuff. And $62.6 million. By the way, Steph Curry, along with LeBron James and Kevin Durant, are the only players to have made over $500 million just from their salaries, right? That doesn't take into consideration any bonuses. I mean, any deals outside of that, any sponsorship deals, any Nike and Adidas or any of that stuff, clothing deals, sponsorships, any of that. None of that is taken into consideration. Just in straight salary from the NBA, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and now Steph Curry will all be $500 million guys when it's all said and done. Just astronomical numbers. And the thing that's crazy is you look and see how salaries compare to each other in different sports, right? And you see the biggest and best guys in the, Patrick Mahomes is making $50 million a year, right? And Patrick Mahomes is far and away the best football player on the planet. Meanwhile, you could argue if Steph Curry is far and away the best basketball player on the planet. He's on the list, right? It's not like he's terrible. He's on the list. But I don't know that anyone would say he's the best player alive. And he's making or going to make $12 million more than Patrick Mahomes makes. These look at the deals that these free agent receivers are getting, right? They're the top of their class. CeeDee Lamb just signed a huge deal, and he's making half the money that Steph Curry's making. It's just wild. Basketball contracts are different. You look at some of these baseball guys, right? There's middle relievers out there that are making insane amounts of money in baseball. But, running backs struggle to get paid in football. So the economics of it all are just, it's kind of fascinating, to be honest with you, to see, you look at, I'm reading in this thing, and somebody named Jonathan Kuminga is eligible for an extension worth up to 5 years, $215 million. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to receive that offer, but he is eligible for that extension. So, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know who Jonathan Kuminga is. He plays for the Warriors. I know who Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr? Did my brain just break for a second? Steph Curry? Like, these guys are making insane amounts of money in the NBA. Like, Jonathan Kuminga, who is the 4th best player on the Warriors, maybe, could potentially make $40 million a year. And CeeDee Lamb is going crazy because he just signed the richest contract for a wide receiver in history, and he's making 30-some-odd million a year. Like, the money is silly in the NBA. It really is silly in the NBA. Now, obviously, you're talking about a roster of 15 guys versus a roster of 100 guys, right? So let's not act like there isn't a numbers game involved here. But it's still wild. Chad asks on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, what's the best college matchup tonight? I believe it's North Carolina taking on Minnesota, if I had to say what is the best matchup. Now, one of the most intriguing matchups is North Dakota State and Colorado, right? They've been running their mouth a lot barring certain members of the press from asking questions and, getting salty about people questioning a lot of things. That North Dakota State-Colorado game is going to be really interesting. This is not vintage North Dakota State. This is not, North Dakota State that won 4 or 5 championships in a row. But it's still good. Like, they're still North Dakota State. They're still good. The spread for that game, by the way, is 10.5. Colorado's a 10.5 point favorite. I think that spread started at 4 or 5. Like, I feel like that spread moved a lot from when it opened. Let me see if I can find out where it moved. Let's see. 10.5. I'm trying to see if they'll show me where the line changed. But I don't see where the line moved. And I may look at it. May look at a different. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this line. Oh, this is just all the different. It's just all the different numbers that you can bet and what their odds are. So if you want to get North Dakota State plus 21, then you got really, really bad odds on that, which is basically what that means. I want to see what it opened at. That's what I really want to see. Let me look and see if one of my other apps has that available, because that's what I really want to know. But that's going to be really interesting. Yeah, it opened. Okay, it only opened a point different. It opened at Colorado 9.5 point favorite, and now it is Colorado 10.5 point favorite. So it hadn't moved a ton, but it's moved a little bit. So yeah, I mean the best game, Chad, is North Carolina, Minnesota. Oldest coach in college football, or at least D1 college football, Mac Brown, against old row the boat PJ Fleck. They'll be going at it. So that is the quote unquote best game of the night. But I think the most intriguing game is that North Dakota State Colorado game. I'll be some of the other games that I'll kind of be curious to tune into, just personally. Southeastern Louisiana and Tulane. Can Southeastern bounce back after a really bad season, especially as much success as they've had under Frank Selfo? New coach for Tulane. What will that look like? North Dakota State and Colorado, obviously, we've talked about. That's going to be an intriguing matchup. What will that look like? Can North Dakota State pull the upset there? North Carolina, Minnesota, the best game of the night, pitting two Power 5 programs against each other. North Carolina, by the way, is a 2-point favorite over Minnesota in that one. Obviously, we'll pay attention to Arkansas taking on UAPB. That game is in Little Rock at War Memorial Stadium. And as of right now, Arkansas is a 50.5 point favorite in that game. So if you want to bet Arkansas minus 50.5, you better hope they win 63-7, something like that. Jackson State UL Monroe is obviously a game that we'll be paying attention to see what the new ULM head coach can do. This spread, by the way, only 5.5. So ULM's only a 5.5 point favorite over Jackson State, and I don't know if that's we don't know about the new ULM staff. Maybe Jackson State is not bad. Like, I don't know what that line stems from. But ULM only a 5.5 point favorite over Jackson State. And then, obviously, I'm going to be paying attention to Northwestern State and Tulsa. As of right now, Tulsa is a 37 point favorite. And, Tulsa, second year under their head coach, they have not had a ton of success so far. Northwestern State, obviously, coming off of of everything that happened with that program last year. And new head coach, bunch of new players, JT Fayard taking over as the QB. Fayard, by the way, played in the final game last year and went 5 for 5 and looked really sharp, looked really good. He was a true freshman at that point. Now a redshirt freshman. As we talked about yesterday, if he starts and is good and can end up being the starter for his career, he will more than likely shatter the Northwestern State career passing record, because it's only just over 6,000 yards. The difference, the main issue is when Northwestern State had longer-term starters, Brad Laird owned the record, and it was because they weren't throwing it a ton. He started playing when he was a freshman, but they didn't throw a lot with Sam Goodwin there. So that'll be interesting. Also curious, and I find this sort of fascinating, one of the offensive coordinators under Sam Goodwin, Norman Joseph, is the offensive coordinator now under Blaine McCorkle. So I think that's going to be kind of an interesting wrinkle, right? Like what does the offense for Northwestern State look like? I mean, McCorkle's already said they want to play a fullback. They want to, have tight ends. They want to, don't we all want to have tight ends? It's what you do squats for. They want to feature the more power-oriented game, a little bit what we would term old school, but Blaine sort of bristles at the idea of old school, being, fullback and two backs and all that stuff. But yeah, we're going to see some stuff maybe that I'll be really curious to watch. I'm fascinated, to be honest with you. This is going to be one of the more intriguing seasons of Northwestern State football that I've ever been a part of. Now, I'm not doing road games. That's why I'm doing the show from the house today, not in Tulsa. Not doing road games, and of course we'll be doing home games, all of them available to you on ESPN Plus, as our good buddy Rogers Hampton certainly knows. All right, send in your picks for the Pearl Upset Special. Send them our way. The biggest underdog that you believe will win outright, send them to us on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. Let us know who you think is the biggest underdog that will win outright, and if you win, you'll get a $50 gift certificate to the Pearl Restaurant. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Take a break. It's a Patrick Netherton Show. 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, and streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter/X. We'll be back.
Never seeing no one nice again like you, Mama.
Get big deals for days at Target's long weekend sale.
Let's go.
Like 20% off denim, tees, dresses, and shoes for the family. Then round out your barbecue with Doritos and Ruffles party-sized chips. They're on sale 2 for $7. Or get 30% off 12 packs of soda when you buy 3 with Target Circle. And save even more. Find new lower prices on many grocery and household items you love today and every day. Target's long weekend sale ends Monday. Restrictions apply.
I love it.
And Doug. Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me.
Shoulders separating.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination, reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High-impact protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code MUSCLE to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text MUSCLE to 511-511. Text MUSCLE to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how happy and healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Introducing Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food.
I have been feeding them Dr. Marty's freeze-dried raw formula for years, and this food is a big part of why their jaws are more flexible, their teeth are cleaner, and their coats shinier, and why they seem more youthful and playful.
And dog parents across the U.S. are loving it.
My dog Hazel is a 10-and-a-half-year-old golden retriever, and ever since I've been feeding her Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend food, she is like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
We're so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee. And for a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of Cod Krispies. They're wild-caught, ultra-crunchy cod skin treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Joey, let's get some drive-through.
Yeah, bro, food. I'm gonna have to ask you to step out of the car, sir.
Joey, let's get some drive-through, man.
Let's order delivery instead.
If you feel different, you drive different, and driving high is a DUI. If you think no one can tell you're high, think again. Your friends, family, and especially law enforcement can see right through it. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high and get a DUI. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Are you ready to take your brand to new heights? At Town Square Media, your success is our ultimate goal. At Town Square Media, we understand that reaching your audience across various platforms is essential in today's fast-paced landscape. One size fits none in the realm of marketing. See firsthand how Town Square Media crafts tailored solutions that align with your unique goals. Whether it's increasing brand awareness, driving sales, or fostering community engagement, our ability to customize strategies that deliver exactly what you need when you need it. Town Square Media isn't just a partner. We're your brand's most passionate advocate. See how Town Square Media can transform your vision into a reality that resonates, engages, and inspires. Call and schedule your free business analysis today. 318-688-1130. 318-688-1130. Your brand story starts here with Town Square Media, where innovation meets impact and your success is our priority.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too. The Greene Team for the best plumbing, heating, air, get it all. One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer, an unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special Pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate. RejuveMeMedical.com.
103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger, Shreveport's home for LSU sports. KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports, a Town Square Media station.
Welcome back to the Patrick Netherton Show.
This is what we commonly refer to as a Trey Langford welfare check. Make sure Trey's doing all right and paying attention. So far, we have not seen Mr. Langford give us the rush. Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Don't forget, our show brought to you by Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Just the best in the business when it comes to, gosh, almost anything in your home, right? You're talking about you need your plumbing checked out, Bobby L. Greene Plumbing. Need your heating or gas line fixed, Bobby L. Greene Plumbing and Heating. And now, after 60 years of being the best in the business when it comes to plumbing and heating, they went ahead and just added air conditioning to it as well. So AC unit not cooling the way you want it to. Maybe you got some issues with the big unit outside the house or the unit inside the house or whatever. Got issues? Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They're the ones that can hook you up. They're the ones that can take care of you. Almost anything. Basically anything, almost anything but electrical is basically what it amounts to. Chances are, if it's messed up in your home, Bobby L. Greene can probably handle it for you. How do you get in touch with them? You call them at 631-0235, 631-0235, or you can hit them up on the internet at greeneplumbing.com. That's Greene plumbing.com. Don't forget that last E. And you can reach them that way. They offer a bunch of discounts. They've got senior citizen discounts. They've got first responder discounts. They've got church discounts. So chances are they can hook you up. They also have coupons as well. So if you maybe want a coupon, they've got some coupons, some money off of certain services that they offer. And maybe most importantly, if you find yourself with a big job, something significant, excavating, that kind of thing, then they do offer some financing plans, which is awesome as well. Because sometimes you do get hit with a big job. It's going to cost you a bunch of money. You don't have it all up front. They can help you out with some financing as well. So working for you, with you, that is the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling way. Hit them up at 631-0235. That's 631-0235. Or feel free to give them a look-see over on the internet at greeneplumbing.com. All right, Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Rogers and Patrick, again, don't forget we are all off on Monday. No shows on Monday. That is Labor Day. So we are all off on Monday, and tomorrow Ben and JJ will be off. So no sports talk with JJ and Bonsai Ben tomorrow night, and then all of us will be off on Monday. Hambone, you tuning into anything tonight specific? I think we talked about you're just going to kind of have it on, and whatever's on is on. Is that kind of still your plan for tonight?
I'm not a big weekday game fan. I'm more of a Saturday, Sunday the whole day more relaxed. I'm still in work mode. I know I have to keep an eye on it for the job in the morning.
Right.
So it takes a little luster off it for me, but I am glad they all count and it's all real. That's the main thing.
Yeah. It's nice. It's just nice to have
your team's playing, Fletcher's team's playing, so tomorrow morning we'll have stuff to talk
and Rogers,
about.
your team's playing too. I mean,
I
your
know,
alma mater.
I know.
Your alma mater anyway.
I know.
They may not be your. Also, Hambone. Look, I understand ULM is a huge question mark, right? We don't know. They're kind of like Northwestern in a little bit of a way. Like we don't know what to expect.
That's a good comparison. Everything's brand new.
Yeah, new coach. Rogers, you do have arguably the best named quarterback in the game, though, my friend.
Oh, with blood lineage? Are you kidding me?
To Shreveport.
Yes, over here, right down from where I am.
Right, like half a mile from Hambone right now.
Just like right there.
Yeah, over there. I see where you're pointing, Rogers.
Yeah, you see.
I do.
It's right there.
Yeah, I actually can see the camera in the studio.
This morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had Pastor Denny on this morning. So it was his first coaches thing. He's very pumped up about the new quarterback.
Where's that kid from, Rogers?
Calvary.
Okay, that's right. He transferred last year, but had to sit. Right, that was the deal, I believe.
I don't know for sure. No, because last year the starting quarterback and receiver were the twin brothers.
No, I'm saying I'm saying the new quarterback had to transfer last year, but couldn't play, and so he sat.
I don't know that for sure.
I think, as I recall,
because private school to private school may be different.
Yeah, I think, as I recall, he left Calvary like a week or two into the season. I may have to text Roy and double check, but as I recall,
because Denny was saying that he could not talk to the kid or his parents while he was at Calvary.
Yeah.
But once he unenrolled from Calvary,
right.
And a strange twist to the story, Rodney Guin is the one who offered the quarterback to Denny.
Yeah.
Because you know how much Calvary and Evangel people are supposed to hate each other.
The great schism and all that.
Denny gave complete credit this morning to Rodney Guin for saying, hey, you're at one Christian school. You'll probably do better because right now we have an established starter at Calvary that's a senior. Even though you can be a starter as a sophomore, we're just going to go with the senior. So it's not as bad as what everybody thinks, and it's not because Denny was like, well, I can't talk to the kid as long as he's enrolled in there. So all this, the school is closing, all they do is recruit. It's way different than most people think. But it was very refreshing to hear Denny thank Rodney Guin and say, hey, he's the reason we have Pop Houston right now.
Well, and
he said, I've never had a quarterback who has all the skills he has. And I've seen some good ones come through there.
Yeah, he's been around for a few good ones in his time, Rogers.
By the way, he was one himself.
Including himself, by the way.
Including that little whatever national championship he won with Tech back then, for National Junior or whatever.
Right.
And it was funny, we talked about Tech because just the night before I had seen your boy Double A. That was his 10 o'clock piece was on Evangel, and I noticed that they're still going with the Colombian blue E on the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, he said he got that when he went back to his reunion from the 1972 team, and that day Tech brought out their powder blues. He said he had always emulated the Evangel uniform after Tech, his alma mater.
Right.
So even though we think of it as the Oilers colors, he brought back the powder blue because of his alma mater, Louisiana Tech.
Well, and to me, Rogers, that color has always been synonymous with the Lady Texters.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like baseball is using it now, football's using it now. Basketball's
the
using it now.
Titans are illegally using it now.
Right. But I feel like that color really belongs to the Lady Texters.
Yeah.
And when Kim Mulkey is in the uniform with the sleeves.
No, I was at NLU when she played, so I know exactly those ponytails and the two double birds she gave us. I'll never forget.
Yeah, and I just loved that all their uniforms had sleeves on them.
Yes, absolutely.
That was my favorite. They were just like shirts. They weren't jerseys.
No, they really
were just shirts.
Yeah, they really were, brother. They really were.
Yeah, I think, as I recall, I believe that kid was at Calvary and was, I want to say he was there, like he transferred out like a week or two into the season, as I recall.
Well, like I said, we touched base on, hey, I can't talk to him as long as he's a student there, but we really didn't get into, hey, then he came enrolled and he had to sit a year.
Like kind of the timing of it. I think that's what it was.
Because the season had already started, so I don't think he really had to sit a full year because he didn't really play.
I think
at Calvary.
I'm not sure. I'll have to,
because they have an established starter.
Yeah, no, I think it was just because I think if you're just on the roster at that point, but I don't know.
I'm not real sure.
Yeah, this is not my
and
not
then
my
you bring in the
forte.
private school aspect of it. They're both two private Christian schools. I don't know if maybe there's a different rule for something like that. I really don't know. I just know both those private Christian schools have a hell of a quarterback. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Oh no, Rogers, how dare you?
No. They both have really good quarterbacks. They're going to have really good years. And both those schools aren't going anywhere. Neither one of them are closing, and they're always going to be good. So get over it if you don't like them.
All right, I'm texting my boy Roy Lang right now just to and just to clarify the story, because I recall it being he left like after the season started, but had to sit. Because the season had already started.
That would make sense because I do know he did drop out of Calvary.
Right.
I just don't know if he immediately enrolled in Evangel or if he went to another school. I do not know that part. Do know he was there. Denny said I can't talk to him as long as he's a student. And as soon as he unenrolled, Rodney called him and it even told him, said, hey, that's probably the best place you need to go. You like being at a nice Christian private school? That's another good one too.
Yeah, and by the way,
sounds like blasphemy.
Right, and by the way, if you want to be tutored by a guy who knows how to
throw a football. Yeah.
So according to Roy, he left in week 4, but was later deemed it was declared ineligible, but then was later deemed eligible and played baseball for Evangel.
That's okay. You know what? That does make sense because the baseball. You know what? Since my daughter was a lifer there, that makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah.
That once they probably did the appeal, cleared it up, he got his eligibility, then he was able to play baseball. That makes a lot more sense right there.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. That's what we.
Either way, both those schools, Calvary and Evangel, have fantastic quarterbacks.
Yeah, and by the way, again,
and they should have great seasons.
Yeah,
they have great coaches, great quarterbacks, great players. They're both really good schools. It doesn't matter. I don't care what people think about it.
Well, and here's the other thing, Rogers. The when the Great Schism happened, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Booties
the
left
Booty
Evangel.
Fallout. Lauren was in 4th grade.
Yeah, the Booties left Evangel and went and kind of.
Next thing you know, half of my daughter's boyfriends, not boyfriends, but friends that were boys in 4th grade that played football, had to make a decision of, do you stay or do you go?
Yeah.
And that was a hard decision for the parents with boys. Well, I had a daughter that wasn't a cheerleader, wasn't on pep squad, so we went to the football games, but she wasn't involved in it. Because she even came to me and was like, well, Dad, am I going to have to leave Evangel? I said, baby, that's no, you don't. I said,
no, you don't have to, certainly.
I said, if you want to go look at Calvary because some of your friends are leaving, and I said, but right now it's mostly the boys who play football because they had to pick a side. Booty Duron, I was there.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it went down. And Lauren was like, well, Dad, I don't want to leave here. I said, well, then quit worrying about it. You don't have to.
Well, and
so it was never a problem again.
Yeah, for those that don't know, and this happened, gosh, Rogers, how many years now? 15 years ago? 20 years ago?
Oh, good God, Lauren. 4th grade, you're what, 10?
Oh, what are you asking me for, man? You know I'm the wrong person.
We're talking early aughts.
Fourth grade? You could be
you're
19
12 in 6th
or
grade,
6.
11 in 5th grade, you're 10th in 4th grade. So Lauren and her friends were 9 and 10 that year.
Okay.
So just old enough to know something weird was going on, but not old enough to understand why.
Yeah. So we're talking what?
We're
15?
talking 2004, 2003, 2004.
Yeah. So 20 years ago.
A little longer than you thought.
Yeah, it is. It always is. For those that don't know what we're talking about, Calvary did not really have a football program and didn't really have an athletics program. They'd been a school forever and ever, Calvary Baptist Academy. But the Booty clan, everyone knows, Abram and Josh and John David and
all
of them.
the Duron clans. Yes,
and so
yes.
basically what happened is there was a split between the Booties and the Durons, and the Booties left and went to Calvary to start up, and it was the dad that was kind of started up the Calvary.
Johnny Booty, yes, Mr. Johnny Booty,
who started it up.
Man.
And they started up Calvary Baptist Academy, and there was legitimate bad blood there for a bit. I don't know that it was like it's not the Hatfields and the McCoys. They weren't shooting each other upon sight,
Patrick,
but they're definitely
it was closer than you think.
Okay, well, anyway,
at one point
and
it
especially
got so testy,
especially
they quit playing each other.
Yeah, especially the fan bases. There
I
was
was at
there
a
was
couple
some
of those
bad
games
blood.
that I wished I wouldn't have been at because it got. And like I said, these were two private Christian schools,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Ooh, this is no." I was at a couple of those games that we were testing, and I was like, almost like wishing I wasn't there. But I look back now, and I was there when history was made on a couple of nights. So, you live and you learn. They both are successful. They're not going anywhere. Get over it if
and so for me, Rogers, the thing is, 20 years now later. Johnny Booty's not with Calvary anymore. The Booty clan has all kind of moved along.
Come and gone. Yeah.
A lot of the leadership, Dennis Dunn, who was at Evangel at the time, is over at North DeSoto.
With a whole new career that he's got going.
Right. And, Rodney Duron is still there, but he's I think he's one of those guys that can get over something, can forgive and forget. And so, who hates on Rodney Guin, right? Rodney Guin is one of the best men.
One of the classiest men you'll ever meet.
One of the best men in the world. So no one's going to hate on that guy. And he had nothing to do with the original thing. So I think this is why you're seeing the hatchet get buried between these programs. Enough time has passed and enough people have moved on that it's now, okay.
And both have success. They both won state champion. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah. I mean, who's hating on Chad McDowell?
Yeah. Oh, good gosh. Are you kidding me?
One of the
coolest dudes there
One of the
is.
best people there is.
And I think tomorrow is Rodney's day on Fletcher's show. So we had Denny this morning. We'll have Rodney tomorrow. There is no. It's when it comes to the high school community, it's all one big happy family, except when you whistle blows on Friday night and you're slobber knocking. But then afterwards, it's over with.
So Rogers, what you're saying is Denny today, Rodney tomorrow, and then Denny Rodney will be on like later,
and then maybe Little Brad too.
Oh, okay, yeah. Denny Rodney, of course, is another Duron.
See, Denny Rodney right now is the head pastor at Evangel.
Is he really?
Yeah, Pastor Denny is like associate now because he took over as head football coach. So Denny Rodney is now the main head pastor at Shreveport Community Church. Let me get that right. At Shreveport Community Church, he is the head pastor, and his dad is now like an associate underneath him. So he's already passed the torch to one of his sons.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I know so much about it. I've just been there, done that for a long time.
Hambone's been in the group. Ernie on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line said 2002, Jacob Hester's senior year, John David left early. Yeah. That was, again,
that was the rub.
Yeah.
That was the rub. Because that was the year the national television game at De La Salle, who hadn't lost in like 50 years, was going to be on TV because you had Booty. You had and then when the split happened, you lost some of those studs, and then they went out there and just could not compete with De La Salle.
Yeah.
I was there. I was during all that, man. I was, I got lucky that I was not a parent of a football player or a cheerleader or pep squad, and I'm the son of Rogers Hampton, who Denny respected and everybody knew. I was very fortunate to be a parent that did not have to purposely change my daughter's life.
Right.
And I was very thankful for that. And now if she wanted to go, I was open-minded enough to go, well, we'll go look at Calvary. But she just didn't understand why, some of her friends were leaving it, but they were mostly the boys that were football players. But now she understands. And I was like, baby, wherever you want to go to be happy is what I'm going to do as your father. I said, I'm not going to send you to a bad place, period. And she was a lifer there, loves it, still argues with her mom's side of the family of why we went there instead of Walnut Hill and Huntington. And I was like, really? 20 years later, you're still beating this drum?
Rogers, If anybody knows about beating a drum, my friend, it is you,
It's
the
me as an Astros fan, baby.
Yeah,
And
let's
out,
go.
Look out.
Hey,
Here comes maybe 8 straight playoff appearances and 7 ALCSs. So put that in the old Piper Roa.
Hey, boy. Buster said the kid from Evangel has offers from Ohio State, Texas, Oklahoma, etc. And he's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore. Hey, you just mentioned
that
Jacob.
boy is a sophomore.
A sophomore. And since you've mentioned Jacob and you mentioned a Southern accent, I just want to take for a second on your show because we talked about it this morning. I hope for a speedy recovery for Doug Moreau.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, but Jacob Hester getting the color. I remember when he started being a guest for Fletcher, and all he would do was answer questions. And when he first started co-hosting, quote unquote, his show, he wouldn't even ask questions at first of the guest. He would let Fletcher do it, and then he would respond.
Oh, so it's somewhat like his brother.
Oh, yes. Except Adam purposely chose to do that.
Right.
Jacob was scared to death. He goes, never in a million years would I ever thought I would have been in broadcasting.
Right.
And from whence he came to where he is now, I cannot tell you how proud I am of that guy. And I know we just saw him at GeekCon.
We did.
And I watched him play football since he was in grade school. So I've been lucky enough to be around him and the other Hester people. But to watch him rise to the communication career that he has fallen into, and now that if Doug Moreau does have to retire, you've got Chris Blair and Jacob Hester and Gordy Rush for a long, long time to come. Just like with Brian Kelly as head coach, the broadcasting booth is in good hands, my friend.
Yeah, I actually reached out to Chris Blair last night and just asked, and he said it was a very sudden thing. Said it, caught everybody off guard, but the surgery apparently went very well. Doug's resting and recuperating, and obviously we wish him the best. He's one of the good. Talking about good dudes in the business, he's one of the good dudes in the business. Doug Moreau, really just fabulous human being. So hope that his recovery is swift, and he is able to bounce back from that. All right, we'll take a break, come back. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Rogers and Patrick, that's us. We'll take a break, come back. Might have a special guest on the phones when we return. Rogers, be looking at that phone line when we get back. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
What you love and what you have and what you love. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing.
Congress is poised to pass a bill to keep AM radio in cars. But time is running out. 82 million Americans risk losing the news, sports, talk, traffic, and vital emergency information they rely on. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to pass this bill now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
I'm Greg Tilley, president of Greg Tilley's Bossier Mobile Homes in Bossier City, Louisiana. I chose Town Square Media for my advertising many, many years ago. Jackie over there has been a big help. Hillary, the whole team over at Town Square has been unbelievable in bringing customers to my business. All of the new modern techniques that they're using with the streaming and with all the different things, not just radio anymore. Shoot, it's TV and it's all kind of different things. I highly recommend you to give them a try. They can increase your business, you can increase your traffic flow and your presence in the market.
Getting behind the wheel after drinking could change your world. Bobby here had a great time at the party and thought he was good to drive home. Now, Bobby's facing jail time, an upset wife, disappointed parents, and up to a $10,000 fine. It only takes one bad decision to change your world forever. Getting behind the wheel after you've been drinking is one of them. Drive sober or get pulled over. Learn more at NHTSA.gov. That's NHTSA.gov. This message brought to you by NHTSA.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And for less than $30 a month, we make your phone your ride or die. Switch now and pick a free 5G phone with qualified plan purchase. And your fourth line at no additional cost. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. An unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special Pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Get down to business. Tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too. The Greene Team for the best plumbing, heating, air, get it all.
You can have anything you want.
One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
There's an issue cutting through the bipartisan bickering in Congress. It's AM radio. The overwhelming majority of legislators, Democrats and Republicans, support a bill to keep AM radio in cars. But time is running out. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Welcome back to the Patrick Netherton Show.
Netherton Show, 11:30 The Tiger. We got to teach EH so he doesn't call the text line to be on the show. EH, come on, man. If you hear that noise in the background, that's EH calling the text line. EH, it's 725-5945. That's the number to call in to the Patrick Netherton Show. 725-5945. Couple of texts to get to on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. Double J said Josh Booty, LSU single-season interception leader, was sitting next to Andre Ware in the Houston radio booth as a spotter when he threw number 16. Ended with 17 for good measure. Well, there you go. Chuck said, I got news for you. They wouldn't have competed with De La Salle either way. And De La Salle was a factory back in the day, brother. Still
that's
are.
completely false. That's why it was going to be a nationally televised game, because they could have competed with them, and there was a chance they could beat De La Salle. So I don't want to hear that whatsoever.
Chuck, you're making Rogers mad, brother. Stay. Don't be getting
I mean,
ham
I
bone
was
all
there.
fired
I
up.
watched practice. I watched games. Why do you think it was a national televised game? That's why, because there was a chance De La Salle could get beat. That's why it was televised.
318 said, and Jacob puts up with ridiculous T-Bob. Yeah. Big Papa said, I heard Terrell Owens' son transferred to Evangel from a Florida school. Yes, I'd heard that as well. I don't know if he's eligible. I have no idea. I don't know what the eligibility rules are of transferring from Florida.
No, he's on the team.
He's good. He's good to go. Good to play. So there you go. Yeah, EH.
And I
EH
think
is
that's
calling.
part of the next series they did, like last year when they followed the kid around with autism that played.
Right.
I think part of this year's is because of T.O.'s kid.
Right. All right. It's a Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. And we welcome in one of our favorite phone line guests calling us via the Pearl Shreveport hotline. It is EH. What up, my dude?
Hey, man. What y'all up to?
You know, just chilling, getting ready for a little football season. You know how it goes.
Yeah. It's finally time.
How was the big draft, by the way?
It was good. I picked in the number 2 hole for 3 years in a row, and you have to have consistency there. So
can I stop you for a second and just let you know that if you're picking in the 2 hole too often, that can cause some issues. So maybe just be careful when you're picking in the 2 hole. All right.
That is true. It gets messy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it went well. So
I will tell you this, EH. I am like millions and millions of people in this world. I do not care about your fantasy team.
I know.
Yeah.
You asked, so I had to chime in.
But y'all had it at the Pearl, right? You were part of Fletcher's crew.
Yep. Oh, it was wonderful. I haven't had crackling like that in my life, and
giddy up.
Oh, it was fantastic, and the boudin dip and the boudin and the I ended up going the. So I went a little unhealthy on the first round, and I went and healthied it back up with some salmon. So
there you go.
I was tricking my body, but it was all good.
Good, beautiful. So what's up with you, my friend? What's on your mind?
A couple things. Be really interested. I've been a big fan of Deion because I think he can change the collegiate game, what he's doing. But he's so, and I'm sure y'all talked about it all summer. But just his, he's honestly he's kind of like, he's kind of like Trump in a way because he cares about what people say about him all the time. And he can't keep his trap shut, and it's like, dude, you got a football team here, and he's worried about Feinbaum and all this stuff, and he has been alienating, all this roster development is not. It's just goofy, and I think that tonight is going to be a huge test for them because the team they're playing is gritty, and they don't, they just play football, and and probably don't make a whole lot of mistakes. So, to me, this is still going to be about Deion this year because the Big 12 is not is tough, and they got a lot of meat. And he was saying how awesome his defensive line was. I was watching an interview, and they're small. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So I'm really interested in that game. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, on the quad box, it is definitely going to be one of the games. Now, obviously, I'll be tuned in a lot more to Northwestern State Tulsa.
Yes.
But North Dakota State and Colorado is definitely an intriguing game just because and you mentioned the roster management. He's turned over his roster 2 years in a row. And that's just, when you come in, you would expect that, okay, you're going to come in, bring your own guys, whatever. But then a whole bunch of those guys didn't come back. He let a whole bunch of the dudes from year one, he told them to get, go and get. And then he brought in a bunch of new guys, and his coaching staff has changed around a bit. So I don't know, man. I feel like if you're going to have success in college football these days, it's not bad to have transfer portal guys, but I don't think you can rely on them. And it feels like in the first 2 years of his, look, Shadur Sanders is still there. The two-way guy that's so incredible is still there. Travis Hunter. Like, they've still got dudes. The problem is the meat and potatoes guys up front, he brought a whole crew of them in, and they weren't good. Their offensive line was atrocious last year. And then all right, well, let's get rid of those guys, and we'll bring in a bunch of new ones. So that's the stuff that I think you're going to struggle to win with is trying to remake a team, especially inside in the trenches. It's one thing to add we need a good left tackle. Let's go get this guy. It's another thing when you're adding and you're replacing 4 or 5 guys. So I'm I'm legitimately interested in what Colorado will look like, because we know Shadur Sanders is a very talented kid. We know Travis Hunter is a very talented kid. But what is around them? And can the lines, can the defensive line hold up, as you said, a smaller defensive line in the Big 12? Can the offensive line hold up after being just a sieve last year? That's the stuff that I want to see. That's what I'm curious about.
But it's welcome sigh of relief that we get college on tonight and everything. And hey, does Northwestern State, is that a freshman or is that like a redshirt guy?
Redshirt freshman, yeah. Redshirt kid. He threw 5 passes last year in the final game of the season and completed all of them. So he was 5 for 5 last year in the final game and looked really good. Looked really good doing it.
He went to Katy, so that's not a joke there.
He's a big boy.
That's a pretty good get.
Yeah, he's 6'5", 220. So he's a massive dude. I don't think they're going to be running a lot of read option stuff at Northwestern State this year.
So how do you think are they stout?
I don't know.
What's the team going to look like?
I don't know. Like people keep asking me, and I legitimately do not. Like, I'll be as surprised as anyone else with what we see tonight and then next week against Prairie View. I don't know. I haven't really watched the team much, so I don't have a real good feel for them. And they're switching schemes. They're moving with fullback. I don't know how much under center they're going to be. I just don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched them enough, and I don't know that the stuff that I watched is stuff they're going to be running anyway. So to me, it's a great unknown. Their defense is switching back to a 3-man front. They're running the 3-3 stack, which is either incredibly disruptive when you run it right, like Iowa State and Matt Campbell do. They just get after you, and you can't figure out blocking angles, and they just completely screw your offense up. Or you can just get road graded by teams that come out and line up with a tight end. I remember, Demons were running the 3-3 stack a few years ago, and I think it might have been Nichols just lined up with 2 tight ends and just mauled them. And there was, because the guys are typically going to be a little smaller in that defense. You're running with your 7th guy in the box is a DB instead of an extra linebacker or an extra defensive lineman. So I don't know. I'll be legitimately curious with this defense. Now, look, that defense was really good at Belhaven when with Blaine McCorkle. They were holding opponents to less than a 200 yards passing. Point totals were down. I mean, they were doing great stuff. I just don't know how it translates. So we'll see. Again, this is going to be as big a mystery to me as it is to everyone else. I'm going to be watching along tonight, just kind of going, all right, let's see what this. I wish I had inside info that I don't. Not this year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, who's not rooting for them after everything that happened? And, with they're the longest, almost the 3rd longest losing without having a winning.
Yeah, streak of non-winning seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, and heck, I'm so out of it. I didn't even know Stephen F. Austin joined back in the.
SFA's back. They apparently have a rivalry trophy. By the way, this was something that Colby Carthel told us about at Media Days, and that's the SFA head coach. And apparently, obviously Chief Caddo has kind of gone by the wayside. The Indian, the Native American tribe didn't like it. The student government on either side didn't like it. Obviously, the old heads are all pissed off about it that they took it away. But apparently there is going to be some form of rivalry trophy that Colby Carthel and Blaine McCorkle got together and kind of fashioned. It's not going to be in any way controversial or whatever, and they're gonna have something. He did not tell us what it was, so this will also be a surprise when Northwestern State and Stephen F. Austin play, if that trophy's even done at that point, or if they're ready to announce it at that point. But they apparently do have some sort of new rivalry trophy that they will be playing for.
This is very important. Well, I'll talk some LSU stuff to you guys tomorrow, and I got an invitation as well for y'all. I want to quickly touch on the Astros real quick for Rogers.
Yeah.
I've watched every single game, and I'm straight up amazed how they've, especially with the outfield, how they've been able to like keep it going, because the bottom half of that lineup is like it's challenging to get a hit, and a first baseman too. So it's like what they've done is straight up amazing. And if they can get some of these pieces back, I think if they can, win the West and all that stuff, just the experience alone they have is a major advantage, because I don't know, it's like they have ice in their veins. They don't really freak out, and which I think that's a huge asset.
Well, it's also it's experience, right? I mean, you still have the core of a team that has gone to how many ALCSs in a row now? 4?
6.
Sorry, 6. I can remember 4, 6. I mean, after like 2, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, you've got the core of a team that understands how to win. Why are they gonna panic a third of the way through the regular season when they know they've still got 100 games left and they can still get where they need to be? Like there was never going to be a panic in that team, nor should they be. They're not young. They're not rookies. They're not inexperienced. They're an experienced group that is used to going to the ALCS. Pressure is not being 3 games under 500, 30 games into the season. Pressure is needing to win a Game 7 to go to the ALCS or go to the World Series. So the Astros they're not a team that is going to be phased at all by dealing with things in the regular season.
This is true, man. I hope I can keep them going over to Fubo and watch them when football starts on the weekends. It's going to be tough, but I'm trying to be consistent. All right, good talking to you. I'll send y'all a text here shortly. Bye.
Okay. That was EH, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend. I wonder what he's texting us,
It's been
Rogers.
a while, man.
I know. I hadn't heard from EH in forever.
He hadn't even done the morning show recently, so I heard he was at the Fletcher draft thing. That was very good news to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's
that
still
was a
alive.
good call. He's always got good takes. He finally has settled down about the Astros. I had to talk him off the ledge that first month and a half.
Yeah, and again, that's the thing.
And apparently Kyle Tucker is now running. So you still got Tucker to come back. And as much as he mentioned first base, they have settled first base down with a platoon of John Singletary and a couple other dudes. He's completely right. What they've done, there are guys that were in AAA. A pitcher almost had a no-hitter who was in AAA to start the season that lost like his first 6 games. Now you got young guys who know they belong in the show. They have confidence, and then you got the veterans that are Jordan, 3 home runs in 1 game yesterday. Good gosh. And Arrighetti, spaghetti, no-hitter into the 8th inning almost. And this guy, who? So, yeah, people that are the non-Astros haters, like people who are the Evangel haters, they hate it because no matter what you say, do, and try to put them down, at the end of the day, they're still there.
Rogers, we have a first-time texter on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. I believe this is Rogers Hampton's burner phone. Josh Booty, first team All-SEC, 2003 De La Salle game was first nationally televised high school football game. Unfortunately, John David Booty became the first high school senior to skip his senior year of high school to enter college, where he almost beat out Matt Leinart and did beat out Matt Castle. If John David Booty was still at Evangel, they certainly had a chance to beat De La Salle.
Thank you.
There you go.
Because all of a sudden, one of the best quarterbacks, high school quarterbacks in the nation leaves. One of the best receivers in Denny Rodney Duron has to come from receiver to quarterback, and then you lose some players to go to if they would have had the team that they were supposed to face, that's why it was a national televised game. That's why they knew if anybody was going to beat De La Salle, why do you think they scheduled it? But all of a sudden, your best quarterback's gone. Your best receiver has to become your quarterback, which means your receiver core is now hurt, and you lost some depth on both sides of the ball. Yeah, you're not going to beat a De La Salle team who was still steady and nothing happened when you had a school split in half and lost half their players, and you still showed up and went out there and played. I'll give them that.
Well, Rogers, thank you for your text on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. I appreciate it.
And if you knew, if you have any idea, you think I know how to do a burner phone.
Of course.
Because you like to joke a lot about my technology skills and Twitter, and I do none of that.
Yeah.
It's
all sarcasm, folks.
I don't even know how to save contacts in my cell phone.
Yeah. Well, you know how. You just choose not to.
No, I do not. I do not.
Gosh.
If Lauren didn't do it, right now, I could not tell you how to go to my contacts, put in a name, put in a number, and save it. I swear to you. And I don't have voicemail set up on my calling, and Lauren couldn't even figure out why she wasn't able to do that.
Oh, hambone.
Which also serves my purpose. Means less messages.
Buster wants to know, Rogers, did you go to the game between Evangel and West Monroe at Independence Stadium that John David played in? Buster was there.
Oh, absolutely. Gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Lauren is big time into, like I said, she never did cheer. She did cheer. She was a cheer on the pep squad, I think, in 3rd or 4th grade. And when she realized it was more fun to be on the field than off the field, that was the only time she ever did anything near close to something that wasn't athletically. But you know what? I let her do it. She tried it. She didn't like it. She goes, Dad, I like being an athlete better than that. And I said, well, then your last name's Hampton. I wonder why.
Yeah. He, Dad said that, Buster said that Jerry Arledge blitzed John David Booty to death. And Evangel
absolutely.
He said, I believe Evangel won by 1 point, but he doesn't.
I think it was one of those deals where he was like 15 yards in the shotgun.
Right,
so by the time they got to him, he was able to get rid of it.
Well, that's why,
which was crazy.
Rogers, that's why when I was at Loyola as a freshman, not playing, I was just there as a student, and that was Josh Booty. That was back when the punt formation for Evangel was brand
Josh,
new.
Abram, all of them. Yes,
and Josh was back there 12 yards deep in the shotgun or whatever in basically punt formation. So Loyola's defensive coordinator put DBs on the defensive line. And this was back when Evangel, if you did that now, Evangel would just run it to death on you. They'd run for 300 and beat you. Back then, they were just throwing it. They weren't trying to run it. So he put all of his DBs, his fastest guys, lined them up as like wide nines, defensive ends, and just had them go straight to the quarterback. I want to say Josh got sacked a ton in that game by Loyola. And again, this was like year 1 or year 2 of them doing that, so it was all kind of new. But it was a brilliant defensive game plan, and Loyola ended up winning the game. They ended up beating Evangel and sacked Josh Booty a bunch because they've got their 5'6", 145-pound kid that can run a 4.6 or whatever. He's lined up at defensive end. He just blow by the tackles and go and sack him 20 yards deep in the shotgun. So, that was good times back in the day. Cocky said that they're playing for the Festivus poll between Stephen F. Austin and Northwestern State. Probably not. Double J said the Bills didn't make excuses when Jim Kelly went down and they had to play a road playoff game in Houston. Oh boy, Double J, come on, man. It's the last segment coming up. Like, let's get to break and let's just all get along, huh? Let's not bring Frank Reich into this discussion, for goodness sakes. Frank Reich, who at one point owned the largest comeback in both college and the NFL in history. Pretty crazy little stat there.
And if you think you can get under my skin, you're fooling yourself.
You fooling yourself, Double J. You gonna get. You get, Double J. It's the Patrick Netherton Show. Back to wrap it up after this.
At Scott Equipment in Shreveport, they're not just selling machines, they're building partnerships with custom solutions for every industry. From agriculture to construction, they've got the equipment to power your success. Visit them on North Market Street for hands-on experience or online at scottcompanies.com for expert advice. Don't just take their word for it, come see the Scott difference and elevate your projects to the next level. Scott Equipment, where quality meets innovation.
You know, it only takes one bad decision to change your life, and riding after drinking can be one of those. It can lead to impaired reflexes, poor judgment, and then disaster. Think about it. Even one drink affects your ability to ride. Alcohol can limit your reaction time and give you a false sense of confidence. You think it'll never happen to you, but it can. So, If you hit the bottle, don't roll the throttle. Brought to you by NHTSA.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey there, Shreveport. Are you tired of boring cookie-cutter marketing campaigns that put you to sleep faster than a lullaby? Then it's time to switch to Town Square Shreveport. We're not your average marketing agency. Our team of experts is like the Avengers of advertising, with each member bringing their unique superpowers to the table. Need a killer social media strategy? We've got you covered. Want a website that looks like it was designed by a unicorn? We can make it happen. Need a radio commercial that's funnier than your grandpa's jokes? Well, we can't promise that, but we'll try our best. At Town Square Shreveport, we don't just create marketing campaigns, we create experiences that people will remember for years to come. So if you want to be the talk of the town, call us for your free business analysis at 318-688-1130. 318-688-1130. Town Square Shreveport. We're not just good, we're hilarious. Okay, maybe not hilarious, but we're definitely worth a shot.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how happy and healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Introducing Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food.
I have been feeding them Dr. Marty's freeze-dried raw formula for years. And this food is a big part of why their jaws are more flexible, their teeth are cleaner, and their coats shinier, and why they seem more youthful and playful.
And dog parents across the U.S. are loving it.
My dog Hazel is a 10-and-a-half-year-old golden retriever, and ever since I've been feeding her Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend food, she is like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
We're so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee. And for a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of Cod Crispies. They're wild-caught, ultra-crunchy cod skin treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Anything you want with Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, now offering heating and air conditioning too. The Greene team for the best plumbing, heating, air, get it all. One team, 3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, your home team, 6310235. We have it all.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer, an unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special Pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Tiger weather now.
Most of the storms hanging down on the coast and kind of drifting to the north. If you're heading south, you're running into the rainfall chances for the next few days. I think the rain chances do catch us here in the northern parishes for the holiday weekend ahead. 78 our low tonight. 91 with a stray thunderstorm Thursday. Widely scattered showers Friday, Saturday, mid and upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore at the Weather Channel.
The previous program was paid for by Tim Fletcher. KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger. Bossier City's home for LSU Sports, a Town Square Media station.
It's time for the main course with Rogers Hampton. Here's your host, Patrick Netherton.
Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Wrapping it up. One more text to get to on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. Don't forget you can continue to send your Pearl Upset Special picks on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, 318-6570-HAM. We're up to about 40 or so, and need to get into triple digits, man. That's what it's all about. Let's get going and send in your picks for the Pearl Upset Special. By the way, the last texter talking about John David still being at Evangel, and they certainly had a chance to beat De La Salle, said, for the record, this is Shoji. He said, I was at the Evangel versus West Monroe game as well. Had to come out of retirement to have Rogers back and set the record straight regarding Evangel. Evangel actually won pretty handily to make it back to the Dome. Hester had a rushing TD, receiving TD, a couple of sacks, and a pick six playing linebacker. So there you go. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So Rogers, Shoji has your back, brother.
Much appreciated, because like I said, we were there. I lived it. I was at the school every day. I knew what was happening inside the building, outside the building. So people who think they know that have no idea, let it go, man. It's 20 years ago. Both schools are successful. Kids are happy. Families are happy. They both won state championships. And let it go. Like Rambo to the sheriff. Let it go.
Rogers, one thing before we get out of here, Greg posted a thing about, said, do not rely on previous generations to lecture you on the contemporary world, especially in industries that are light years ahead of where they were in 1993. Would you ask a software engineer who last worked on a project in 1995 to help you with social media algorithms today? Hambone, my response to that was, it's why I don't listen to Cowboys fans talking about Super Bowls. So we'll end on that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Rogers Hampton. All right, we're done. Enjoy the college football. Week 1 kicks off tonight, just a couple of hours away. ULM getting after it against Jackson State. Arkansas against UAPB. Northwestern State taking on Tulsa on the road in Tulsa. And Tulane in action against Southeastern Louisiana. All kind of fun stuff happening tonight. More games tomorrow, and then obviously the full slate on Saturday. LSU, USC coming up on Sunday. Tomorrow, we will have Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers. Our first chance to chat with Tyler Moody and do picks for this coming season. Moody was 15 games over 500 last year. Yours truly was 1 game under 500. So between us, we were 14 games over 500 last season. So you definitely need to pay attention to what Tyler Moody has going on when it comes to picks. That'll be tomorrow about 2:20. Continue to send in your Pearl Upset Special picks on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. Big thanks to Bobby L. Greene Plumbing and the Pearl for being sponsors of the show. Remember, the Pearl is not open tomorrow. If you get a chance, send some good vibes, some good thoughts, prayers, whatever you got their way as they deal with a tough time within the Pearl family. But they'll be back open on Saturday. All right, cooler weather is finally here. It's definitely not nearly as hot as it used to be. That's obviously a big thing for all of us. But still, we advise you to always be careful. You know, remain cautious, remain vigilant, because we want everyone back here from 1 to 3 tomorrow on the Friday show. Enjoy the college football tonight, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 to 3 on the